What's going on, guys? I'm Adam,
I'm Panda.
I'm Randy.
and this is
The Place to Be. All right, guys. Today we have the incredible stripper known as Irish Candy, Chef Randy, today here with us. How we doing today, man?
I'm doing great, Panda. Day drinking and then doing a show. Love it. Living the life.
This is the life. Living your best life. I love it.
Randy works over at Irish Wolfhound. That's in Surprise, Arizona. So tell us how long you've been working there, man.
I've been there for about almost going on 4 years now. Started there as a line cook. Now I'm the chef there.
Nice.
Moving on up.
Yeah. What inspired you to cook? What inspired you to be where you're at right now?
I've always enjoyed cooking. I grew up. My mom, she's Mexican, so we always grew up with home cooked meals and everything like that. Growing up with my abuelita, my tias, getting together, making tamales. You pass along so much stuff through food.
Exactly.
And you make so many friends and you make people happy through food. I've always locked on that. I've loved it.
Nice.
And they do say that's the best way to get accustomed to a new culture. Taste the food.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is something I've always liked, and I carried on to it, and I actually got down to more of my ethnicity of being Irish and Mexican, and besides being able to drink a lot, that's pretty much that's pretty much what it is. But then I got really into the food, and I was able to actually connect with it. And so once I moved out here from California, I was like, wow. Like, I was working at a sports bar, and then I was able to get a job at an Irish pub, and I was like, yeah, I want to open an Irish pub. Like,
That's awesome.
That's a perfect job for me. And
Did you have to do any schooling to get where you're at?
I went to culinary school.
Oh, which one?
I went to the Art Institute of Inland Empire.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually one of the biggest art institutes for the culinary department.
Oh, wow.
Majority of art institutes, they have about 4 to 5 kitchens. The Inland Empire one had about 7 kitchens.
Wow.
So we did actually get a question on our social media account. Panda, do you want to go ahead and introduce that question?
So one of our viewers, Stephen Brown, commented on Facebook, and he was really worried that if he commented, say if it was slightly negative, or however you may want to call it, he was afraid that if he goes out, people are going to recognize him for making that comment, and that the back of the house would mess with his food if they recognized him.
So basically what we mean about making a comment is going out and complaining. Giving your server a hard time, sending your food back even if you don't like it. Which I think, if you don't like something, you shouldn't necessarily have to pay for it. Doesn't mean you have to be rude about it, but be like, hey, this isn't the way I ordered it. Would you please not mind taking it back? So that's what I want to clarify.
What does Chef Randy have to say to people out there do they really have to worry if they make a comment that's not pleasing to the ear? Mm-hmm. Does the back of the house mess with the food?
No, all in all, through my experience, is that the back of the house wants to make sure you get your food right.
Right.
Do we believe that sometimes certain customers are going out of the way to be a pain in the ass? Yeah, definitely. Because a lot of times, a lot of people you get customers that want to come in and complain about their food because they're trying to get something free.
Exactly.
There are those customers.
Yeah. Or you can just go on Groupon and not be a schmuck. But
right. But the thing is that if you send something back and you're polite and you're not having an attitude with the server or just completely being a bad person,
yeah,
you're going to get your food the right way and no one's going to mess with your food.
Exactly.
Me personally, if anybody was to mess with food in my kitchen, I would throw that person out of my kitchen. Be
careful.
You're more. It's more becomes to like a moral person of the person.
Exactly.
And you know,
I was saying integrity. You gotta have, everybody has got integrity.
Right.
Yeah.
Working for the industry. So
Yeah.
that's you know, it rolls around with the moral. You
Yeah.
gotta have a good moral compass.
I feel like a lot of people also, so normal people that aren't in the industry, that don't know what really goes on behind the scenes, they seem to be paranoid to where if they do complain, something's going to go wrong. I guarantee you it won't. Does happen? Yes.
Oh yeah.
But not every time. You know, I mean, so can you, for instance, name a time in your entire 5-year career that there's been a slip up?
Yeah, I mean, I was working at a place in California where it was one of my first cooking jobs, and this dude, the customer was being completely complicated, and I even thought the customer was being completely irrational and just complain to complain, you know, like it was a hobby of his.
Yeah.
But the cook, he ended up licking the bread of the dude's sandwich, and it's like, dude, like,
They call that sourdough.
oh, did you ask for mayonnaise on that? Got you. And so I was like, all right, I'll just wait, see what he's gonna do.
Right.
And he ended up finishing everything else and putting it in the window, and like I jetted over. Like I don't think I.
So he was getting ready to send it out.
Yeah, he was getting ready to send it out.
Okay.
And I'm a big guy, and I moved quick. I was like, no! I was like, I might be the Flash. You know. But
That's awesome.
And so I grabbed it out of the window, and I took the whole plate, and I just threw it at him. I'm like, dude, what? I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
Right.
that's someone's food.
Yeah.
Like,
So what did he say to that? Like, well, he's being an asshole.
yeah, he's like,
he deserves it.
Yeah,
or
he's
is
like,
it-
he's like, screw that guy. Like, he's being an asshole. Him.
yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, no, like, yeah, he's in the wrong. I get that.
Yeah.
Like, he's being super picky,
Right.
super complicated, but you're gonna get him sick.
right, exactly. And then that's when legalities come in.
Yeah, repercussions are.
And at the end of the day, I mean, even for the people that are sketched out about it or worried about getting their food messed with, listen, as scared as you are with getting your food messed with, the person that would mess with your food is even more scared of losing their job. So
Yeah,
don't
absolutely.
worry about it, okay? People have bills. People are not worried about messing with your f***ing food.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't make a lot of money. That's my job.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And it's your job, it's your livelihood, it's your passion.
Exactly.
So I mean, if that's something that you were to lose, there's references for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you lose a job for doing something like that, they're gonna call your prior employers.
definitely,
Well, I was
yeah.
like, oh, he licked the guy's sandwich. Hire him.
Definitely hireable.
Yeah.
He dipped his balls in ravioli.
Right. They call those Estrella Mountain oysters.
So besides that making you angry, what else makes you angry in the back of the house?
I would have to say, like, I do get upset at servers sometimes if they don't know their menu.
Oh, shit. That's
You
a
know.
good one. That's a good one.
Are they
yeah.
just like not making specific mods or just making
Yeah, like-
a whole different item than what
Yeah.
is listed?
Well, like, you know, I can get a salad, you know, and we'll have, you know, certain salads get certain things.
Exactly.
You know, and then I'll get a salad that, you know, is listing all these things. Oh, I don't want this, 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 this. Okay, cool. But then you're reading more, and it's like,
Well,
no-
that was gonna come with it originally, like something
yeah,
like that.
exactly. Like, oh, dressing on the side, no bacon.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, dressing already comes on the side on that salad, and we don't put bacon on that salad.
Right, exactly.
But thanks for the update.
I'm not gonna lie, when I first started serving, I was kind of guilty of that, but not in the sense of I would ring in the ticket the wrong way. But I was that server where I wouldn't study my menu too well, to where if I had a guest ask me about a certain menu item, I would be that motherfucker running back and forth from the dining room to the kitchen asking questions about that menu
Yeah.
item.
Yeah.
And eventually the managers were like, listen, if you don't learn the food, we're going to have to take you off the floor because
Yeah.
you're wasting time. You can be flipping tables at this point. So I totally understand that. I was
Yeah.
one of those culprits.
Well, it also helps out the flow from
Oh,
the house
definitely,
back
yeah.
to the house.
Exactly.
People
Yeah.
getting their foods on time.
Yeah, because I can simply ignore that word, you know, that mod right there.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I'm taking that extra second reading the ticket of I can have a ticket from this long to this long without the stupidity on it.
When you could have already sent a few other plates out the window already.
Exactly. But I kind of think like my biggest pet peeve, like from customers though, is them like, oh, I'm allergic to this, this, and this. If you have the actual allergy for it, like, I get it.
Right.
But we get so many people that are like, "Oh, I'm gluten free.
Hipsters.
I can't have bread."
It's so funny. It's so funny. Meredith, your girlfriend, actually posted a funny post today on Facebook. It was a meme that said, it was a couple and there was a waiter, and basically the customer asked the waiter, "I'm vegan, gluten friendly, and I have an allergy. What can I get?" And the waiter goes, "The f*** out of here."
Well,
That's a good one, right?
I was working at a bistro out in Verado, and we got a ticket. Well, the server actually came in, and they were like, "Hey, I got a lady out here. She's dairy free and gluten free, and she's vegan." We're like, "All right, like we'll offer this. You know, we can make this for her. Blah blah blah."
Exactly. The customer is always right.
Yeah, but it was a small bistro. We had no problem adapting to
just accommodating her needs.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the bitch orders a pork chop.
That bitch.
And I'm like, you just said you're vegan. Oh, I can have pork.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Honestly, pork is probably the least favorable meat out of all of them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like hands down. I mean, not even only like religious wise, but I mean, it's known as like a dirty animal or this or that.
Yeah.
Whatever. I actually heard a funny riddle. What animal eats until it's full? A tiger, a cow, or a pig? Eats until it's full and then stops.
No.
A pig.
Really?
A pig does not overeat. A tiger, if it's full, it might keep eating, but pigs get that kind of like, just
Can't take anymore.
They're digging in mud and this and that,
Yeah.
but they eat until they're full and they stop and they roll around in mud and they sleep. I thought that was really interesting. So like pigs get a bad rap, like they really do.
One of the smartest animals.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Definitely.
What's one of the favorite dishes you like to make?
Honestly, one of my favorite, and I actually sell it on the side. It's peanut brittle.
Ooh.
It simple, but it brings so many memories for people.
Definitely.
A lot of people, they've had it when they were kids, and once they eat it, they're like, a lot of times they get memories of like their childhood. It feels good. It feels good or bad.
Yeah.
Because no matter if it's a good or bad memory, it's still a memory. It was part of your life. It was part of your journey.
Can you go ahead and walk us through the process of how you make yours?
Peanut brittle?
Yeah.
Or do you want to give that away?
I can
Don't give away the secret ingredient because we all know it's love. But.
Basically you have all your ingredients. You have salt, sugar, peanuts, corn syrup, water, vanilla, butter,
Okay.
and baking soda. When you're making candy, it has to be a certain temperature, or it won't hold. It won't harden right.
Mm-hmm.
Where
That's what she said.
TM. But a lot of people, they'll use candy thermometers.
Right. Exactly.
Me, I'm always by touch, by feel, by sight.
That's the best way to do it.
That's the way
really
I was taught to cook.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I will always cook.
Definitely.
So, and then once your cornstarch, your water, and your sugar is all at the right temperature,
Right.
you start adding your ingredients, mixing it in, and then you lay it out on a cookie sheet, let it air dry, and then once it's...
So when do we get to sample this goodness? That's what I'm wondering because I'm getting hungry already. Sounds amazing.
Next time I get a chance, I'll bring you guys a batch.
That's great. That's great. I'm totally down for it.
What's the least favorite dish you like to make?
Least favorite.
What bothers you when you see it pop up on a ticket or just in general?
A Reuben.
Ooh.
Really? It's not even that much to make.
But that's the thing, though. We get so many of them.
Uh-huh.
To where it becomes a lot to make.
Yeah. On a Sunday, I can easily make about 60 Reubens.
No shit. Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot of sandwiches.
That is a
Yeah,
lot.
and so that's where it gets a little irritating because you get into a pattern where you're making Reuben.
Right.
And then Philly. Ruben. And it gets annoying just because like you're like, all right, I want to actually make something. Like I don't want to build a sandwich.
Right, exactly. I hear that.
Yeah.
So is there any kind of advice that you would give to somebody that is aspiring to be a chef, or that wants to get into the industry, that doesn't feel like necessarily working up the ladder, becoming a dishwasher or busser or this and that? Is there any kind of advice that you can give to somebody, whether it's starting in school or whether it's becoming a regular at an establishment and then getting to know the owners or this and that? What from your experience, what's some advice that you can offer?
Definitely, I wouldn't say getting to know the owner and trying to get a job, just because it creates an issue.
True. Yeah. Can mix business and pleasure.
Exactly.
Sure.
That's exactly what it is, because then you have that tough like middle
Friendship
line.
boss
Is
thing.
it a friendship? Are you my boss? Are you joking?
That's why I hate hanging out with Panda, man. It irritates me so much, man. It's
Talk
like
about business all the time.
But if you're definitely trying to get into the industry, like be prepared to work hard.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter if you go to school first or you start working in the industry as a dishwasher or whatever. You're gonna have to work hard. I started in culinary school first, and then I started working in actual kitchens.
Gotcha.
Where it goes hand to hand. I mean, if you go to culinary school, you're gonna know your stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But then
they retrain you wherever you're gonna work at anyway.
Exactly.
So.
You're gonna have to build your speed and everything.
Right.
Where if you start working in the industry first, you're automatically picking up speed, efficiency, and then go to culinary school and you get that knowledge.
Yeah. That little extra flair.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Where you're gonna actually fully know what you're talking about and just not about the places that you've worked at.
Right. The one thing I feel like people that in the industry, that the people that are not in the industry don't really realize is that everyone that works in the industry, chances are, like 95% of us, we sacrifice our weekends.
Oh,
so
definitely.
when you're like, yay, it's Friday, we're like, it's Friday, dang it. Like, dang it.
Friday.
Which is like our Mondays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Every day of the week, or anytime it's Monday, I'm like, is it Monday yet? Is it Monday yet? I'm just waiting for Monday.
Yeah.
It's the most exciting day of the week for me. It really is.
Absolutely. What motivates you? What motivates you to keep on going?
I mean, I grew up as just a hard worker. My dad worked 2 to 3 jobs, coached Little League, and, was a father.
Is that where you drew some of your inspiration to cook by any chance, or like?
I got a lot of inspiration from home cooking.
Right.
My mom and my dad were both really good cooks.
Nice, that's a blessing.
My uncle was an actual chef.
Nice.
He was an executive chef for Marriott, and just talking with him, kind of pushed me more. I honestly almost went into law enforcement or the military.
Right.
But I decided because my uncle passed away, I was like, yeah,
You're gonna carry that torch.
exactly.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I wanted to cook. That was my passion.
That's awesome,
I
man.
knew it was.
That's very cool.
But just working hard is like, it's in my blood. Like I grew up in San Bernardino, California. I grew up in the west side of San Bernardino at that. Like, we weren't dirt poor, but we didn't have money.
Yeah, you still have to work for it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Got
that work ethic.
Exactly.
And now it's time for What's Cooking? Good Looking. So this is the part of the show where we give Randy some ingredients and he has to tell us what he would cook with the given ingredients. So, Panda, what do we got?
All right, we got 3 ingredients each. We got corn, mashed potatoes, and corned beef.
Sounds like a done meal to me already.
There's your meal. Oh, those,
You can add stuff too.
yeah. I mean, but even with just those 3 ingredients, it's really easy where, especially, say the mashed potatoes are day old. You have them in the fridge. They're already hardy. Mix that with a little bit of fresh mashed potatoes just to get that consistency up. Mix it in with the corned beef and the...
Corned beef and hash.
Well, just mix it
Something
in
like
with
that.
the corned beef and the corn and make almost like a patty.
Ooh.
Sear it in some butter or some my favorite bacon grease.
Yes. Oh yeah. Ultimate
know.
flavoring. Ultimate
Yeah.
flavoring.
Now you have like almost like a crab cake, but it's a corned beef cake now.
Sounds even better.
Just seared in there,
Especially, honestly, you had me at bacon grease.
right?
Sold.
I was thinking this might not be a good game anymore. I'm already hungry. Let's just cut this right now. Let's go.
Let's go to the Red Lobster.
All right, Panda. What's the next ingredients?
All right, we got ground turkey, bacon, and cauliflower.
Bacon, cauliflower, ground turkey. All right. So, the only time I eat ground turkey is if it's a turkey burger.
Okay, fair enough.
Some people try to have me make ground chili turkey bowl. I'm like, no, turkey burger only. So you can, I would say, puree the cauliflower, making it into a form of an aioli, like a cauliflower aioli.
All right.
Excuse me.
It's the beer talking.
Beer does that to you.
I'll drink to that.
But, and then the bacon, cook it down, reduce it, get all that bacon fat out of it, add a little red wine,
Ooh.
and
Okay.
making a glaze out of it. So you have a turkey burger with a cauliflower aioli topped with a bacon red wine glaze.
And you're gonna have to start like making sure nobody else still.
Is it Thanksgiving yet? Please. Come on.
All right, I got next one. You got beef, peas, and gravy.
Beef, peas, and gravy. Do you have like a is it ground
Yes,
beef?
yeah, the
Is it like
steak
a
or-
certain
Let's do ground beef.
ground beef?
We already did ground beef, didn't we?
Did we?
Well, we did ground turkey,
Do a steak. Do a steak.
Steak.
I want to see what you can do with the steak.
steak, peas, and gravy.
Yeah.
All right. So if we did like a New York strip steak, do a basil pea puree.
Ooh. The sweet and the
Yeah.
kind of like
I'm like dying, man.
more more intelligent flavor of basil. Just the word puree, I'm like,
Hey girl, what you know about that puree?
Nothing. Tell me more.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
The more you know.
But the gravy, that's where it gets a little complicated because you already got the puree, so that's enough liquid right there as your sauce. But your gravy, you can mix that. You can saute like some like red skin potatoes in that, where it's just giving that nice little crisp coat on the potatoes,
Yes.
where you're
Yes.
getting all that flavor.
There's
but
some
none of
rosemary
them
up in there.
Yes.
Rosemary.
Nothing wrong with rosemary
At all.
and that would just be perfect right there.
That sounds awesome.
Dude.
Okay, you know what? I got one for you. Spam,
Spam.
chicken flavored top ramen,
Okay.
and a Slim Jim.
That's Slim Jim.
Cook it up.
Poor man's cocktail.
Believe it or not, that's a top shelf item.
All right. So Spam. Do you spend time in Hawaii?
I have not. No. It's
like
The
a
main ingredient for everything.
I enjoy spam though. I like spam a lot. Spam is great.
Is this
If
a
you don't like
Spam Osobuco? But Spam top ramen.
And a Slim Jim.
Chicken flavored top.
Chicken flavored top ramen, yes.
All right.
Roasted chicken flavored.
Oh
Yeah.
Don't
Spicy
forget-
roasted. I'm just kidding.
Sriracha sweet chili spicy.
With a hint of lemon. Lime, sorry.
What was the third one? Slim
Slim
Jim?
Jim. Tabasco flavored Slim Jim. How
All
about
right.
that?
Ooh. All right.
Monster.
So-
Tabasco Slim. The thick one. You know what I'm talking about? The thick one? Talk to me.
Get your top ramen.
Right.
Make your top ramen.
Uh-huh.
Syrup. Dice up some Spam. Sear it up. Toss that within.
Do you separate the broth from the ramen? You just
You always need a little bit of broth.
okay.
Not too much broth. You still want it a little soupy,
Yeah, exactly.
but not where it's like, oh, I got all this broth, but
Yeah.
a little bit of noodles.
Yeah.
Mix it all in there. Use the Slim Jims as chopsticks.
Shut the take my money. Take my money. Guys, I'm going to go get this meal right now.
You're welcome,
Holy
every college student ever.
So here's what I'm wondering. Here is what I'm wondering. Yeah, right? Exactly. You can make this shit in your dorm room.
You never know what I saw. Oh, it's
more
so
you-
good.
The percentage of graduates just increased.
What I'm wondering though, would you have to time your eating accordingly? Because you don't want to run out of Slim Jim chopstick and still be left with the ramen.
Oh yeah, well, you can. Well,
Yeah.
I guess you
So
can slurp it.
slurp it. But then it's like, I wish I had more Slim Jim. Where's my Slim Jim? You know?
Well, it's like when you get to like the little nub, that's where you get really inventive and just like
Like,
scooping it in real quick.
all right, you know what? I'm actually very impressed with that.
Yeah. Holy jeez.
Honestly, that description probably made me hungrier than all
Yeah.
the other ones.
It's like shit you not.
Oh,
I
man.
want to go play beer pong now.
All right, Twizzlers, Sour Patch Kids, and Swedish Fish. And Twix.
And Twix.
What would you do?
Make a compote with the Twizzlers, Sour Patch Kids.
Lemon soak in vodka? Or...
There you go.
Yeah, buddy.
Right.
Halloween's coming up, baby.
Blend that all up, and then kind of make it a nice thick compote, and then get your Twix and just dip it in there like Fun Dip.
Ooh, damn. Okay.
All right, I'm done, man.
Okay. All right.
Just moving on.
All right, guys.
Man, you're making me sweat, and it's not just because it's hot.
So keep on all your clothes.
All right, I just want to say thank you to Chef Randy right here. You can find him over at Irish Wolfhound over in Surprise, Arizona. Okay, where can we find you on social media?
I got Instagram and Snapchat. Instagram, you can find me at kitchen_assassin909.
I'll put the names right here. He also is a chef for hire, believe it or not. So if you want some Slim Jims and Top Ramen and Spam, be sure to hit him up.
Yeah, no problem.
I do work on a budget. Hey guys, if you guys enjoyed watching these guys and want to see more of them, hit the like button at the bottom. Subscribe, share, whatever you guys do. Thanks for watching.